Welcome back to Limitless Nerd. We are here with another awesome guest. I have Brent with me today. Brent, how's it going, man? Thanks for being
Hey, Cameron, we're doing good. We're doing good over here. How about you?
here. Doing good, doing good. Just at the time of recording this, we just wrapped up an awesome Star Wars month.
Oh yeah,
It was very eventful on all
totally.
fronts. But I wanna go back a little further and ask you, where did your journey with Star Wars kind of begin? When was it introduced to you?
Sorry, I got distracted by the amazing Razor crest you got behind you.
Oh,
But to
thank you,
answer, yeah,
thank you.
that's pretty sweet. That's like super shiny. Anyway, to your question, where did my journey in Star Wars start? That goes back to like infanthood, if you will. I've seen pictures in my scrapbooks of me wearing a Episode 3 Star Wars little hat as like a 2-year-old or whatever.
Yeah,
My dad grew up in LA, and he is a big Star Wars fan, and so naturally they got passed down, right? He would take me to the Rose Parade during
yeah,
that time, in California, and I have a lot of pictures of the Star Wars parts of that Rose Parade with like Vader and a whole line of stormtroopers, and me just being just totally in awe with all of that as a little kid. Getting a bunch of Lego Star Wars sets growing up, and all that stuff from my dad. So that's where it all began. And then as I got into high school and college, it kind of dropped off because I was just kind of figuring out who I was. Wasn't as cool to be a nerd back then.
yeah,
Um, and then I just kind of got a little lost and went back to my roots, if you will, and just went full send with just
yeah,
accepting my obsessions and nerdiness because that was where
yeah,
I was most happy and felt truly like myself. And so I jumped back into just loving everything Star Wars and just partaking of it more, if that
yeah.
makes sense. And so yeah, now we're here, and it's been great.
Yeah, yeah. I'm right there with you. I mean, I got shown Star Wars, I think, when I was like two. So
Yeah.
I don't really have memory of a time without it. So yeah, I'm right there with you for sure. When did obviously a fan of Star Wars, a passion for Star Wars. When did that go into, I want to start talking about it on the internet? Because,
Yeah, just sit in front of the
talk,
camera and start talking.
yeah, I don't know if you know this. Talking about Star Wars on the internet can be a little interesting
You don't
sometimes. We'll
say.
say. When did that kind of come into it?
Yeah, so before I was more of like the nerdy Star Wars content creator, I had started a fitness business because I have an undergrad in exercise science. I was a personal trainer for a couple of years, and I was just like doing fitness page stuff. And that's when I got like I mentioned before, I kind of lost myself. And so I needed to find out who I was. Well, not find out, go back to who I was. And so that's when I shifted from all the gym
Yeah,
fitness content to talking about Star Wars, talking about lightsabers, talking about Lego
yeah,
and my favorite parts of like the High Republic or like things like that. And so I had
yeah.
fun with it. I tried it out and I haven't stopped since. So
Yeah, I mean, and it's really, I want to bring up a couple of pictures here. Living in LA, I don't know if that has any part of it or not, but you've gotten to experience some pretty cool events just here recently.
some fun stuff
What's it?
recently.
Yeah, what's it? What
Wow.
what's it like to be able to celebrate Star Wars in such a, I would have to assume, elevated way.
This is crazy
At,
looking back at all this.
but going to the Mando and Grogu premiere and the Maul Shadow Lord event, and all these. I mean, bucket list. I would have to assume,
Mhm.
experiences. What is it like to, with, not just for you personally, but to be able to do it with, other creator. I see a lot of people I know in these pictures, Carly King, Gabe,
Mhm,
Will and Grayson, Luke,
mhm.
just to be able to have that community aspect of it physically in front of you, not just on your phone.
It's been the best, and funny enough, I live in Utah, so being able to do these things is even crazier 'cause,
Yeah,
it's a journey a little bit, but it's so worth it, but being able to go to these things has been a dream come true. I never thought this would be possible for me at all. Starting off, I
yeah,
just was comfortable in my own little nerdy office at home, and I was fine doing that, and, when Skeleton Crew came around, I was able to start getting these opportunities, and I was completely flabbergasted, um, blown away, and I had developed a lot of friendships with through, content creation, talking about Star Wars. You
yeah,
develop this kinship and this kind of, brotherhood, these friendships, if you will, especially
yeah,
on Twitter. Just a huge family, and,
yeah,
I had been craving friendship and, like, brothers, in a way, because I only have sisters. Um,
yeah,
I've been craving that connection and that kind of that camaraderie with people, that were like me, because I didn't have anyone in my, like, physical proximity that I could just
yeah,
talk to these things about or go hang out with and talk about Star Wars or do Star Wars nerdy things, you know? And so
yeah,
being able to go to these events was absolutely life-changing because it brought my found family to me, right?
yeah,
And going to each of these things is the highlight of it is being able to interact and spend time with all of these people that I've been able to bond with and spend countless hours online theorizing and nerding out and then getting excited about things and being able to
yeah,
see them in person. Oh, it's just the best.
yeah.
It's life-changing. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and that's been, I've only been doing this for 8 months, and it really, being a fan of Star Wars from such a young age, you think it's impacted you in the only way that it could, and then you start, interacting with it in such a different way, and
Mhm.
I didn't have Star Wars friends until literally about a year ago,
And now you're here
and
with
it
us. You're
has
stuck with us.
but seriously, I mean, it has changed, and you'll understand this, and it's not an exaggeration to say that it has changed my life in a way that I never could have expected.
I agree. I know what you mean.
I'm talking to people that I never would have otherwise, and it is such a, you think, just when you think Star Wars has impacted you in as big of a way as it could, it finds another way. So, yeah, I mean, I love seeing you guys at these events. I hope to be there with you one day.
That'd be so good.
Um, just seeing you guys living those dreams and celebrating it as if it's my own, it has been so cool. So,
That's a beautiful mindset to be in. I know it's not always easy because 'cause
yeah,
I've been on that side of things for so long before where
yeah,
I was, like, just living vicariously through people, and I was fine with that, but being able to be there is different, but I know what
yeah,
you mean, and I really would love to be able to hang out with you in person someday.
yeah,
That'd be so great.
yeah. You should come to Rebel ScumCon,
Yeah, that's coming up.
because that's like 45 minutes away from my house. So,
No way, that's, like, in your backyard, that's perfect.
but I do have to ask, because I mean, I have to ask about this picture in particular.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And
Yeah.
I don't really have a specific question other than I just want to hear the story.
I still get goosebumps thinking about it, like, we were there so we can talk about it now, but we were there to experience, the Smugglers Run updates, and,
Yeah,
we were invited to go do that and, be able to review it afterwards after the embargo was done, talk about it. Um, and they were going about it in such a way that was like, "Okay, there's something going on more." Like, we weren't sure at all. And so there's like they told us to put our cameras and phones away, like literally no recording of anything. So we're like, okay, like, whatever. I guess they're just wanting to be discreet about it. And they just lead us through, and we see all these cameras starting to be set up, and then all of a sudden we just walk into the Millennium Falcon room, which, right, by the way, such a beautiful room. As an architect by
Yes.
trade,
Oh
I
yeah.
love the detailing of this Millennium Falcon room. It's just the most immersive
It's
thing
yeah.
ever.
You just want to hang out in there. Yeah.
Exactly. And so being in this space, you just see a guy in a Mandalorian costume just like leaning against the benches there, and we're like, "Oh, sick!" It's like the park's Mandalorian. Just, oh, cool, cool. We didn't
Yeah.
think anything of it, but just being able to be there with like the Mandalorian, that's awesome. And then the worker there is like, welcome to Smuggler's Run. And then Mando, do you have any advice for our adventurers? And then all of a sudden, this helmet starts coming off, and we're like, no, like, but
Yeah.
what is going on here? And then all of a sudden, you see this mustache.
Uh
It's like
huh.
went in slow motion, and the
Yeah.
helmet came off, and we all just our minds were blown. This was completely 100% the craziest surprise, and we're all
Yeah.
just like freaking out and just blown away because Pedro is in front of us in
Yeah.
the screen used suit
Yeah.
with everything there. And this was all his idea too, like to surprise
Yeah.
us, which is even
Yeah.
cooler. He's such a genuine, amazing individual, and he just radiates kindness and excitement and love, and it's just the coolest thing ever. And I'll never live that down. You can't see it because Gabe's head's blocking it, but I had Grogu on
Oh
my
yeah.
shoulder, the
Yeah.
little shoulder pal, and he shakes all of our hands, and he gets to me, and I'm like shaking as he's shaking my hands, and he just looks at the Grogu and like gives him a little high five, and it's just like, oh, you brought Grogu along. I'm like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was, yeah, the coolest thing ever that we got to do. Oh, I'm so grateful.
Yeah. I mean, I saw that. I saw obviously the video that Disney Parks posted, and like immediately pulled out my phone and texted Carly and Gabe, and was like, I'm like, y'all, what?
Yeah,
And they're like, and
exactly.
they're like, yeah. I mean, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And it was so, I don't know, it was so cool to like see you guys who I've gotten to know be like, because I would have reacted the exact same way. So I'm like, I know exactly how you felt, because I probably would have like fallen on the floor like Carly did, but like, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. And you talk about him being in the screen used Mando.
Hmm.
You have a Mando suit as well. What kind of got you into cosplaying?
Yeah. So I got a 3D printer a couple of years ago, and um, just was like, I want to start making things because it was when it was starting to pop off, and I would make little trinkets and stuff like that for my dad, a gift here and there. I was like, I want to make Star Wars helmets and props and things like that, just to have, as you can see above me, like just to have
Yeah,
on display. Um, and then I was like, wait, I can do a lot more with this. And looked
yeah,
into it, and it's like I could actually make full on things. And so 2 years ago, I had made a plan and a goal to make a Mandalorian cosplay because I love the Mandalorian so much. For me as a new dad, it speaks to me on a deeper level because of that fatherly kind of message between Din Djarin and Grogu.
yeah,
It just means so much to me. This character is so unique, and I had so much fun with it because it's also something my wife started to get into around the time of the first season with me. Um, and so I was like, yeah, I got to do this. And so I learned how to sew, sewing the flight suit, found out it was too small because I didn't do it right, but it looks good. And so I had someone else make this next one for me, but printed all the armor, spent so much time sanding it, shining it, getting it as accurate as I could,
yeah,
and just absolutely loving the way it looked. And I was like, this is my first full kit I've ever done, and one of the most serious cosplays I've ever done. I had a Chimere, the Stranger
yeah,
Thing that I have worn before, but this was like another level. This was like my most detailed costume I've ever had. And so it all
yeah,
started with me wanting to just have fun things to have around my office to being able to make things that will be wearable out in public.
yeah. And you got to show Manny Jacinto your Chimera cosplay too. I saw that.
I did, which is crazy over at the Chinese theater. We're there for the for that mall finale, or no, for the Grand Grogu premiere, Rando Grogu premiere. That's what it
Yeah.
was. And I just step into the doors, and I turn around, and all of a sudden he's right there in front of me. I was like, "Oh, Manny, what's up? Let me look. I cosplayed you
Yeah.
because I loved the acolyte. That's actually
Yeah.
fun fact. That's actually one of the first like times I took Star Wars content seriously was
Yeah.
around the acolyte, because oh my gosh, the amount of negative energy that was going on in the fandom around that
Yeah.
time was just the craziest thing ever. And so it's like
Yeah.
I gotta combat that. I've gotta I
Yeah.
gotta counteract that. So I was like, I'm gonna be a light. I'm gonna be a light in this galaxy. Let's jump in. And so that's when
Yeah.
I went full send with content to try and be a better light.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what I think that's what I think draws people to you and what you're doing. I mean, you are such a positive, a positive
Thank you.
light, I mean,
I try.
and that's exactly what I'm trying to do too. I mean, I try to keep it fun, keep it positive. Do I love everything? No, but it's Star Wars. I don't know what else to. It's almost impossible for me to be negative about something that's been a part of my life for so long. So
I know. Yeah, it's like your thing. It's part of you.
yeah, and
I
I
get
mean,
it.
coming off of this incredible month of Star Wars, I am curious just to talk about these two newest projects with you a little bit. You
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
Mando and Grogu. You obviously went to the premiere. How many times have you seen it?
5?
Okay, so enough to be to talk about it a little.
A little bit.
What just generally, what'd you think about it? Obviously,
There
being such a big fan of the Mandalorian.
Mhm. I had fun. That's the first
Yeah.
thing I said and I thought with the movie is I had so much fun. Because it's just I feel like it's such a great story. I loved the soundtrack. I love Ludwig. His music just was so
Yeah.
different and so unique while still being so familiar. Introducing some new tones and planets. I'm always a sucker for good world building and set
Yeah.
designs, and so Shikari was so beautiful, and I loved the way the Shikari neon lights were kind of just like bouncing off of
Yeah.
Mando's Beskar, and I love the Dajaric scenes. I love Rada. I love Grogu's growth and kind of in more individuality that was going
Yeah.
on. And, I thought it was just so much fun, beautiful, looked amazing. The puppeteering was just
Yes.
so much fun and so cool and
Yeah.
so talented, especially after you see behind the scenes stuff. But I
Yeah.
genuinely had no gripes or things to, like, point out that I didn't like. If anything, just that it ended,
Yeah.
that it was over, but there's just so much about it that I would just dive into for hours about it, whether it's, like, the title sequence that was, like, giving Top Gun
uh,
vibes. I'm like, "This is cinematic.
yes.
This is
Oh
so
yeah.
cinematic," to the whole, like, New Republic base there,
Yeah.
and all the fun details that you could really tell that was different than the series on TV. This was a movie. This was a film.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
was great. So, that's a little bit of my thoughts on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and the thing that's kind of bugging me about it is, you said fun, and that's one of the main ways I've described it too. And there's so many people out there right now saying that like it's a bad thing, and I'm like, when did we quit being allowed to have fun? Like,
I feel like they're coming off that Andor. They have that Andor expectation where it's really
yeah,
serious and there's these messages of oppression and very
yeah,
serious topics. And since
yeah,
that and Rogue One are held at such a high standard for Star Wars that sometimes it feels like people have forgotten to have fun and that Star Wars is a
yeah,
fantasy and for everyone.
yeah,
And so they get lost in that and forget the roots of it all. It's for entertainment. It's just for
yeah,
fun. It's not real.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, I the way I've because people that have asked me that haven't seen Mando and Grogu yet are asking me, how should I kind of go into it? And I'm like, if you go into it thinking it's gonna, you know, change your entire thought process about Star Wars and everything it is, if you go into it with that attitude, you'll probably be disappointed because it doesn't,
It's a
it doesn't
standalone.
change it doesn't change the universe drastically like some of these other projects have.
Yeah.
But if you want to just go into it and have a good time like you did watching the show, you'll love it. And I loved it. I've seen it twice. I really want to go see it again. And you know, I got invited to an early screening of it and got to see it in a
Awesome.
packed packed room with people that were cheering at all the
I
right
love that.
moments. And made it it made me appreciate it a little bit more. And then the second
Mhm.
time I went and saw it in IMAX for the second time, and
Mhm.
there was like two other people in my theater, so that one was kind of
Unique?
that was just me. Yeah, that one was a little weaker, but that was probably just because the theater was empty. But yeah, I mean, I loved it. I mean, I have some small nitpicks with it, but overall, I thought it was great, and they did so much with it that I like. I like that you pointed out the music because the soundtrack for this movie is amazing. If we can't get more John Williams, I hope Ludwig and the Kiners are
Yeah,
making
the
Star
Kiners
Wars
too.
music are making Star Wars music literally until they die.
They did such yeah, the Kiners did phenomenal with Rebels, obviously, but also with Maul Shadow Lord and
Yeah.
yeah, and any animated things that will go in the future. I still listen to the Ahsoka, this TV show,
Oh yeah.
to that music sometimes. It'll just pop
Yeah.
up in my playlist, and I'm like, "Oh, this was a banger. Like, why did they have to go
Yeah.
so hard with this?"
Yeah, for sure. And I
Our
mean,
music's in good hands, basically.
yes, yes. With the Kiners and Ludwig, I if we can't get more John Williams, I think Star Wars music, if nothing else, is in very good hands. But
So true.
y- Maul's Shadow Lord. I think kind of with everything going on around Mando and Grogu, we've kind of forgotten about Maul Shadow Lord already, which is really a shame because that show was absolutely incredible.
Yes. Oh, absolutely
What
phenomenal.
what and spoiler alert, that finale. Oh my goodness.
I was so like I was talking with a buddy of mine about whether or not Vader would appear, and I was like, "You know what? I
Yeah.
kind of don't want him to
That's
because."
what I said.
Yeah, you did? Because I was like, I don't mind him being alluded to and, like,
Yeah.
talked about, but, like, I feel like, I don't know, it would take away from the story, whatever, it would be weird, but no, it didn't. His presence
Yeah.
was totally, spot on. I love what Dave and, some of the other team members were saying at a Q&A where it's like, to do Vader, you have to do it in a very specific way, not to destroy his
Yeah.
legacy. And
Sure.
Dave was just talking on and on about how who Vader is. He's not Anakin, and so anything that reminds him of Anakin, he just is going to destroy. And that was so present in Maul Shadowlord because there's so much
Yeah.
ruthless and strength behind every hit, and it was just this OP of a person. I was just like, this guy is nuts. Like this is
Yeah.
Vader. This is
Yeah.
Vader. And he didn't even say anything the entire time. Just
That's the thing that got me. That's the thing
yeah,
that got me. He did not speak at all. He had absolutely no. I mean, he's a horror movie villain. I mean, he's
yeah,
silent. He's walking through anything and everything that is in his path
yeah,
without
literally.
stopping. I mean, he's walking through walls and
Yeah,
doing all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, if you're gonna put him in this show, having him be like literally almost a horror movie villain type character, like a force of nature is the only way to do it.
yeah. He was definitely a powerhouse, and I think it was done so
Yeah,
well. And I was, yeah, shocked and just in love with that finale by far.
yeah,
And makes me really curious to how the second season will come about and what's gonna
yeah,
happen in there.
yeah. I was gonna ask you, do you have any like theories or what you think, or maybe even what you want to happen in season two?
Oh man, but we know where Maul is later on in the timeline, right, with Rebels, and he's just kind
Yeah,
of like he gives off this kind of old man vibes.
yeah,
And so obviously, dude's going to go through it some more. Um, I have no clue what they're going to toss at us. Like I
yeah,
had zero expectations and zero like they just surprised us so much with season one that I'm like I'm not even gonna try and speculate because nothing I will speculate is gonna happen. Like
yeah,
I'm here for the ride. I'm gonna be excited
yeah,
and and just go for it.
yeah. The only thing that I'm like kind of wondering is, we didn't think we were going to see Vader, and we saw Vader. So naturally, I feel like the next step is in season two. Do we see Palpatine?
Mm,
So I'll be curious to see what happens there. Everybody's saying Kira, and I don't think we're far enough in the timeline. I think she's still, unless we have a time jump. I don't think we see
yeah,
Kira
I probably would not. I
unless
wouldn't.
this show goes like 3, 4, 5 seasons. Then maybe, but which I'm
So far
fine with
we've just
that.
got two, but yeah.
Yeah, but I could
I'll
see
never
this
say no to
going.
more Star Wars.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. But I have some. I call these rapid fire questions, but if you want to elaborate, it doesn't have to be as rapid fire. But favorite Star Wars movie?
Phantom Menace, first one I ever saw, super nostalgic.
Okay, all right. You don't hear that very much.
I mean, come on, you get
So
pod racing. Okay, you get Duel of the Fates, you get beautiful Naboo ships. Are you kidding me? Jar Jar's a freaking blast. And like you get battle droids and all these fun things.
yeah,
Droidicas. Like I
yeah,
think it's just I love it.
yeah. Can't argue with it. We've got so many of them now. So favorite of the shows,
Favorite of
animated
the
or
shows.
otherwise.
Ahsoka. Me being a big Rebels fan, the live
Yes,
action just felt like a continuation of Rebels and loved it.
yes, yes. It's so funny that when Ahsoka came out, there were so many people that seemed to not like it, and I've just been slowly like building this little group of people that I'm like, yes, we all like Ahsoka. So I could definitely, I love Ahsoka. I love that show so much. It was such a perfect continuation of Clone Wars and Rebels, and yeah, I cannot
And
argue
that
with that.
that world between worlds stuff, man, that just was so
Yes,
peak.
yes.
Loved
I
it.
I I I cannot wait for season two.
I know it's
I,
gonna
I have I have
painful
no
wait.
idea. I have no idea what season two could possibly bring, and I want it all. I want that show to go on forever.
Yes.
But favorite character,
Obi-Wan.
fantastic choice. Fantastic choice. He's probably, let's see. He's probably like my number three. I love Obi Wan. Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't think much of him in the original trilogy because he doesn't really do a lot. But I mean, you get Ewan McGregor in there, and man, he made that role his.
He did. He did make that role, and just the overall character as we get through the entire timeline and all the Star Wars
Yeah,
content and video shows and TVs, everything, you really understand
yeah,
how much he went through, how much loss and suffering he went through, but he still chose to stick to what's right, and I respect that wholeheartedly.
yeah, yeah. I know you're streaming some video games right now on your channel. Do you have a favorite Star Wars video game?
Yeah, I do. I would say Jedi Fallen Order.
Perfect, perfect.
Yeah,
I
it's
love.
a great game.
I don't. I want the third game. I want
Yeah,
it so
we're
bad.
getting it super soon.
I hope so.
Yeah, they've gotten I almost applied to work on it a couple months ago,
Okay.
because they needed somebody to help with the hollow mapping that you do in your menu,
Yeah.
you know? Um, I almost applied for that, but I didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah. Those games are so. I don't know. They just feel so unique. I don't
Yeah.
know how else to explain it. I mean, uh, we've got so many Star Wars video games, and I don't think I've ever played a Star Wars game and wanted the main character to appear elsewhere in Star Wars more than
Yeah,
Cal
in the
Kestis.
game.
Like
I know.
I need him in animation, live action. I need him wherever they want to put him, and I
Yeah,
think
which
it's
would
gonna
yeah.
happen.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
it's gonna happen.
it's
I don't
possible.
know why. I don't know why else you would make the character model look like the actor if you didn't want to use them.
Right, right.
I can't think of any other reason. But do you have a favorite lightsaber?
Oh, so many to choose from. My first thought
Yes.
would probably be Obi-Wan's because I really enjoy, like, episode 3 Obi-Wan's just because I really enjoy the texture and that narrow emitter design of
Yeah.
it. It's just, like, it screams Star Wars to me. But I also have been really fond of Kylo's because it's so
Yeah.
unique, and that
Yeah.
cross guard, like,
Oh yeah.
all that stuff and, like, the violentness of the blade,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just so cool. I dig it.
Yeah. I remember when the Force Awakens trailer came out and you see that cross guard for the first time and everybody on the internet just lost their
They're like,
minds.
"What? That's so cool."
Uh, I'm curious. Do you have a, which I feel like everybody probably does, especially if you talk about Star Wars on the internet for more than 5 seconds?
Mhm.
Do you have a Star Wars hot take? Something that you believe, or a project that you love that the other people just can't get on board with?
I mean, I guess the Acolyte stuff, like, I don't really have hot takes because truthfully, I don't really understand them very well, the concept of it. It's just like, you like Star Wars, you don't.
Yeah,
For me, I guess the hot take would be that The Acolyte was good. Like, I loved The High Republic so much, and
yeah,
I think the choreography and fight scenes of The Acolyte were just astronomically good, like, out of this world good. It was so, so cool. So much talent and work went into that. And I was not
yeah,
hating the story at all. Some of the dialogue maybe was a little different. I enjoyed it all, though, every part of it. I just had a lot of fun.
yeah. It, I didn't dislike it nearly as much as everybody else did. I mean, but also I'm one of those people where I'm like, I don't want to say all Star Wars is good Star Wars, but that's honestly kind of how I feel.
No, I'm exactly with you there, man. Like,
I
I will
I mean
enjoy all of it.
I mean I don't want to sound like I'm, saying everything is good all the time, but my thought is, and maybe this is just me, but like my thing is, even if you don't like a particular project, every Star Wars project that comes out is the opportunity to create new fans.
Yeah,
And if we have
exactly.
and if we have new fans, we have more people to have conversations like the one that we're having right now. There's more people like that in the world. And
Yeah.
you cannot convince me that that's a bad thing.
No, you can't. It's not a bad thing at all. Star Wars is for everybody, and everyone has different tastes and likes. Like, obviously, Andor's seriousness differs completely from Rebels' quirkiness, you know?
Yeah,
It's
for
totally
sure.
different, but it's all Star Wars still.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I mean, I all Star Wars is good Star Wars as far as I'm concerned, and nobody is going to be able to convince me otherwise.
Retweet, repost, share the story like that. I agree. I agree. It's like I'll
But
back you up on that. I'll back you up on that anytime.
yeah, yes. If you see me getting harassed on Twitter, just come to my rescue.
Oh, I'll back you up, man.
But I got a game for you if you're
Cool.
down to play a game.
Let's do it.
This is a blind ranking, and
Oh
these are
gosh.
always these are always fun. They're fun for
Okay.
me. They may not be fun for you, but we'll see.
I haven't done many of them, but yeah,
But
let's do it.
with the recent release of Mando and Grogu, you are going to be ranking bounty hunters.
Okay.
and you have 10 spaces, and I am gonna just feed them to you at random,
Shoot.
and
All right.
we'll see how the or this is I guess bounty hunters or bounty hunter adjacent characters
Okay.
because some
Like
of
a
these don't some of these
yeah.
aren't technically bounty hunters, but they're close enough.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I will start you off with Django Fett.
Um, I just don't have much experience with him other than what we see in Attack of the Clones, and I haven't dove into much of the lore with him, so I don't know too much, and so I would probably put him on the second half of 10. So I'll say 8.
Okay. Definitely somebody I think we need more of.
We could use more.
All right, let's see. We got one from well, I guess he's in live action now too, technically. Cad Bane.
Cad Bane's pretty much one of the craziest and toughest bounty hunters out there. Um, love him in Clone Wars and Book of Boba Fett. He's definitely a force to be reckoned with. So he's on the top half of things. So 3? Trying to leave room
Doing
for others.
doing pretty good so far. This one this one falls into that bounty hunter adjacent. I'll give you Hondo Onaka.
Hondo Onaka. I have so much fun with him. Welcome, my friends. Um,
He's so cool.
I'll say 4 because I like him a lot. I think he's great. He's got some quirkiness to him.
I will not complain about 4. We just saw him in Mando and Grogu.
Embo?
Imbo.
Oh man, Embo gotta be 2. I'm gonna put him at 2 because he's
Uh,
a beast.
he's just. I mean, I feel like he's aura farming like 95% of the time he's on screen, but I can't argue
But
with it though.
justifiably.
I can't complain about it. I can't complain about it at all. Um, what about from A New Hope, Greedo? Another one that we haven't seen a ton of.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna put him at the end. Put him at 10.
All right, from this is another one that's like kind of bounty hunter, kind of not. But from Solo, we'll say Woody Harrelson in space, Tobias Beckett.
Tobias Beckett. Wow. Um,
I feel like he's got to go high based purely on the fact that it's Woody Harrelson in space.
I
But
I know. As a character, we just don't know much about him. I haven't seen him too much other than what we've seen in Solo. So until we get more, he's probably gonna have to sit at 9.
what about Boba Fett's right hand woman, Finnick Shand?
She's pretty crazy good. I'll put her on the second half just because I'm saving room for some of the goats in my head for the top half of things. So is 7 open?
Yeah, seven is open.
That's where she'll be.
All right, we got heavy hitters. So we'll see how this goes. I will give
Dang.
you Din Djarin.
I wish number 2 was open. I just
You
I
have
want to say
one. You have 1, 5, and 6.
okay. Well, he's not the end, and he's I love Din Djarin so much. He's like, but I have somebody in mind that I want to put as number 1. So I will put him at the second highest spot available still. So is that 5?
Yep.
Oh, I hate that, but that's gonna have to do.
I will. I think you may walk away okay, but I will give you. You have 1 and 6, and I will give you Bosk.
Okay, he's gonna be 6.
Okay.
I'm hoping who I think is next is gonna be the one I
Uh,
want for number 1.
Number 1 would be Boba Fett.
Yes, that's my number 1. That's my number 1. Yeah, he's number 1.
All right, so you ended up with Greedo at 10, Beckett at 9, Jango Fett at 8, Finnick at 7, Bosk at 6, Din Djarin at 5, Hondo at 4, Cad Bane at 3, Imbo at 2, and Boba Fett at number 1. I don't think you can complain about that.
Yeah. If I could,
Din,
I'd
Din,
switch Din Djarin and
yeah,
Hondo, but
yeah, Din may be a little bit higher, but other than that, not the worst I have seen.
good. It gives me. I always get so nervous and anxious with blind rankings.
This next question is kind of interesting because we don't have a lot to go on, but we have a number of Star Wars projects either confirmed, rumored, we have a couple of things confirmed, but then we've got a lot of stuff, rumored to be
hmm
coming. What's kind of on the horizon that has you excited about where Star Wars is headed?
Starfighter is has got so much of my attention. Especially after especially after watching Project Hail Mary, seeing Ryan
Yeah,
Gosling's performances just always blow my mind. Like I love everything Ryan Gosling's in, from um, Fall Guy
yeah,
to what's that? Nice Guys? Is that what that one is?
yeah, I think so.
And then obviously Project Hail Mary. Like he does such a good job, and the fact that I think Tom Cruise helped with some stuff on that movie, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
And honestly, some part of it also is the mystery behind, like, where is this going to
Yeah,
go? Where's it going to go?
yeah,
But I'm very eager for for that movie next year, I would
yeah.
say.
I mean, the only reason because I hadn't even really heard anything about Project Hail Mary. I didn't even know what it was. I hadn't seen a trailer. I hadn't read the book. I didn't even know it was based on a book until after I saw it. But I was like, I want to go see how Ryan Gosling does in a space movie. And holy cow, I loved that movie. That movie was so amazing.
One of the best movies in the world, man. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the best ones of this year by far. But yeah, I mean, Tom Cruise apparently being on the set of Starfighter, I don't know what that was about. Apparently directing a scene with lightsabers in it.
Yeah,
I don't
what the
know.
heck is Tom Cruise doing with lightsabers, man, and helping choreograph that or whatever? Like that's
Well, here's my question: if this is post Rise of Skywalker,
yeah.
who's running around with the lightsaber that's not
I
Rey?
don't know. I don't know.
I'm like, is Rey gonna be in this movie? Which I'm not convinced that she's not. I
I
feel
don't.
like it's a possibility that she
It
shows
probably.
up.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. But dang it,
But
like
like,
who's running around with a
who?
saber? What?
That's what I'm saying. Like, who who is
some
running
some
around
Grievous
post
like
Rise?
person that's just collecting sabers from like everyone? Like
But where are they getting them from?
I don't know.
You're not still collecting Order 66 sabers because that was 50 years ago at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
Where are you getting lightsabers?
they're both the black market, the
Yeah,
smugglers. Oh my God, what about all the younglings that Kylo had uh, taken out at the Jedi Temple that Luke was running? There's probably some scattered around that.
yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm like,
I don't
who's
know.
running around with a lightsaber at this point? I'm like, oh, it's
Well,
another Order 66
I mean,
survivor that's like
yeah,
85.
there's bound to be many of them. But the thing is also like at this point in the timeline, there's decades from even the High Republic, an Old
Yeah,
Republic, and there were sabers back then. So the galaxy's probably littered with lightsabers.
I guess.
There's got to be hundreds of thousands of lightsabers all across the galaxy. Joe Schmo over on
Yeah,
Shikari, I don't know, of all
yeah.
places, probably could find one in the dumpster somewhere. Like I don't know. Like there's bound to be some. Like I would love for there to be a project where it's just like an average person. Hey, just some crazy, just random civilian, just doing his own life and stumbles across a lightsaber and has to like have this
Yeah.
crazy story arc.
It reminds me of that episode. It reminds me of that episode of Clone Wars where Ahsoka like loses hers, and they're like, somebody's trying to sell it on the black market or something, and she has to like
Yeah.
go get it back. Or and this person like is trying to use it and has no clue what they're doing. And yeah, I would that would be a really funny like comedy
Yes, then we need some Star Wars
of
comedies.
we do. That would be pretty interesting.
I'm still waiting for a Star Wars rom-com.
I don't think it's as far away as you think it
I
is.
would love
I
it.
I
I don't
I just for some reason I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like I mean I know there's like books out there that kind of fall into that
Yeah,
category,
yeah, yeah.
but I don't know. I don't for some strange reason I feel like it's not because I think about Dave Filoni being in charge of Lucasfilm now,
Yeah.
and he in Clone Wars especially, he always loved experimenting with different genres. Like he did the Zillo Beast, which is just a Godzilla movie, and he did a horror type episode.
With
You
the
know, he
worms things.
yeah, and he did some like you know detective noir stuff in Clone Wars. I'm
Yeah!
like,
I know what
I,
you're
I
talking
just,
about.
he just he feels like the kind of person that's going to experiment with different genres when it comes to Star Wars. I feel like I feel like it's possible. I feel like it's more possible now than maybe it was 10 years ago.
I agree with you.
But
Yeah.
I'm curious, talking about different genres and stuff like that. If Dave Filoni were to come up to you and say, "We need something new in Star Wars. I want you to pitch me something right now. Movie, show, animated, live action, book, comic, video game, whatever you could possibly want. The one thing at the top of your Star Wars wish list, a casting choice, whatever you tell me in the next, 90 seconds, Lucasfilm is going to make it. Saying no is not an option. What are you speaking into existence for Star Wars?
Oh, that's the hardest question because I want so much, but I would say give us a spin-off of Han and Leia. I want to have a standalone movie with just them,
Yeah,
and I want them to it'd be fun to have a romantic comedy of those 2, but I don't know about the logistics of that, but I want to see a standalone movie of just those 2, get more of their relationship, more of their marriage, more of their familial life and some of the hardships of raising a family post-Empire, and as the First Order is rising, like, what it's like what the family is at stake about, you know? Because 'Cause I'm such a sucker for a family story. Um, I feel like that would be something that Star Wars hasn't really dove into too much is
yeah,
like is like raising a family. We hint at it kind of with Mando and Grogu with like father and son dynamics, but it's not the same. Like
yeah,
general family life. Obviously, they wouldn't
yeah,
be the same either in a way because they generals and stuff like that of the rebellion, but I feel like they would be closer. It would hit home a little
yeah,
harder. Uh, so yeah, Dave Filoni, give us a standalone family story based around Leia and Han about what it's like to
yeah,
raise a family in this
yeah.
galaxy.
I'm curious. Do you use Alden Ehrenreich and I guess Billy Lord possibly?
Yeah, we could. We could. Obviously, Harrison
Because
Ford's a little bit too
yeah, I mean,
advanced.
I'm fully of the belief at this point that recasting that main group of original trilogy characters is something that we need to do. You know, you have Alden Ehrenreich, you have Donald Glover to be Lando, you have Jonas as new Chewie, you have Billy Lord who's basically right there ready to be Leia. You just need a Luke, and I don't think recast them to use them all the time. Like I don't need a whole nother trilogy with those characters. Like I'm not saying anything like that, but like if a story called for them to be there, they could be, and it wouldn't have to be the weird, you know, CG face, whatever they're calling it now,
Oh
where
yeah, deep fakes or
where all
whatever.
yeah, where all they can really do is stand there and say lines. If they're doing anything crazier than that, it can't really keep up.
Can I change my answer?
Yes, go ahead,
Old
please.
Republic.
Ah.
Give us Old Republic.
You want a movie, a show, a trilogy,
Anything. I will take
anything?
anything. Movie would be preferred, but
Yes.
give us Old Republic in that in live action, please and thank you. Signed, Nerdy
Any
Brent.
any characters in particular you want
Nihilus.
to see? Nihilus. Okay. Do you have a casting choice?
Uh, Not necessarily because he's in a mask, but
That's fair. I guess you would never see his face.
yeah,
Does he ever take his mask off?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm
I
not
don't
too
think
deep
so.
into Old Republic. I've only played the games and dove a little bit into some book stuff.
Yeah, that would be cool. I that's an answer I get a lot to that question. I ask that question on every single episode, and I've gotten Old Republic
They've
quite a few
got a
times actually.
they've got a freaking boatload of material to use from
Yeah,
old to high republics. Those whole
yeah,
timelines are just untouched.
yeah.
Like, and
I
there's so much there.
I really I kind of regret not diving into High Republic when it started. I have not touched any of the High Republic stuff,
Hmm.
and I'm like almost intimidated to now because there's just so much.
Well, you can
But
there is a lot, but you can solely just do the adult novels, and that narrows it down from like dozens of books and novels to about like like a handful. Like you can count them on two hands, probably.
yeah,
It's such a good story. In fact, there's actually side characters in the whole timeline that would make such a great rom-com. I'm not gonna lie. There's this gay couple in it.
yeah.
And it's Care Santeca. What's the graph? Xylan graph. They're so the I don't know if you this is lore. It's not really
It's
spoiling too
okay.
much, but
Oh no, that's okay.
The Santecas and the Graph families, they're like they're almost
Santeca.
like
That sounds
cults.
so familiar.
Yeah, in Force Awakens, you get
Oh yeah, yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
Santeca who gives the piece to I guess Finn and Poe
yeah.
for
Oh,
that where Luke
yeah.
is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the Santecas and the Graphs during the High Republic, there was this phase of the, rooting hyperspace lanes, and they were like on the front lines. They were like out there marking paths and making hyperspace possible. And so, because it was a very lucrative and profitable industry at the time, they were like filthy rich, both of these families, but they're against each other because they want to be the best. They want to
Yes,
make the most
yes.
money.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so Care and
The
Xylan are on it's like a Romeo and
Romeo Juliet.
Juliet,
Yeah,
yeah, kind of thing. But Care Santeca is like this fashionista, but he's also like a bad A, and he like is plays a crucial part in helping the Jedi in this kind of
yeah,
pirate overtaking of the galaxy. Whereas Xylan Graf is kind of like the pretty boy, pampered, spoiled person, and their dynamic together would be such an amazing rom-com movie. I know a lot of people would probably have flack about it because it would be a kind of a gay movie, but more on that. I just feel like it's a great opportunity for just a fun movie that
yeah.
is new, unique, and would just be so entertaining because those two characters they're so fun. I loved it. It's just an
I, I'm
opportunity.
I'm curious. We were talking about Project Hail Mary earlier, but what are some other fandoms, movies, shows outside of Star Wars that you're a fan of?
Yeah, dude. So in high school, I was the biggest Potterhead. Um, I like read all the books in a month because I hadn't done it. I haven't never read them in high school, and I was like, you know what?
That's
I'm gonna do
impressive.
it. I'm gonna do it. And so I read all of the books, fell in love with the stories. Um, I love going to Universal and getting to experience Hogsmeade, and uh, it's another fun immersive realm.
Yeah,
So I love that a lot. I used to love Marvel a ton, especially from the time of before Endgame and everything.
yeah,
Um, so I got pretty into that for a while. What else is there in my life?
Marvel's kind of fallen off a little bit, unfortunately.
They're gonna
It's
come
kind of
back, I
lost me.
think. Yeah,
I
hopefully they'll
hope
come back.
so. I hope so.
Um, I was more of a, you know how there's like some things you watch just because your friends are watching it.
Yes.
That's Lord of the Rings to me. Like I respect it because it's
Yeah.
really well done, and the story. Like I can really respect and admire the plots and all of the things. I just can't get myself to go that deep into it because there's
Yeah.
so much there.
Yeah.
And I'll watch them, no problem.
Yeah.
I even went to Hobbiton in New Zealand. You know, I've been there. It's fun, but I'm not as passionate about it, which is fine.
Yeah.
Other people are.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of Lord of the Rings is probably the most popular answer to that question that I've ever seen. So, yeah, there's a lot of Lord of the Rings people out there.
Yeah, I bet. I
Um,
bet.
I as a collector, if you couldn't tell,
Oh, you
I always
dabble.
am. I'm always curious to ask, you with your 3D printing or just anything in general. Do you have a favorite, Star Wars item that's hanging out in your house?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot here. I've got a bunch of Lego things that I've made. I'll split it into two things,
Okay,
which is hard. Things that I've made and things that I've collected. How about that?
sure. And that's a
Uh,
hard question. Trust me, as a collector, I hate answering that question, so I feel bad asking it, but I'll do it anyway.
Things that I've made, my first thought would be my battle droid that I printed and made like full size. But my real answer would be my Chimera helmet that I've got. Where's my finger going? Here. It was my most accurate helmet that I've ever made, my Stranger helmet, and it is what started my journey of having better interaction with Star Wars. I was like
Yeah.
that started my whole thing, you know. With so it's really special to me. Plus, I love the show, so that's something I've made. That is my one of my favorite things. Really proud of that and what it's brought for me in my life. And then thing that I've collected, I have to look around my room because I'm like, what have I
Oh, I
collected?
know. Yeah, that's how I always end up. I'm
What have
like,
I
I have to look
collected
around.
that I just admire? I would say Lego is super fun and stuff like that, but I am a huge sucker for concept art and design because by profession I'm in architecture and design, right?
Yeah.
And so I totally geek out at concept art, at sketches, at things like that. And so I've got the Art of the Galaxy's Edge book that
Yes, I do too. It's right there.
nice. I love going into that every like
Yeah.
once in a while, just because it's got sketches, it's got their brainstorming of the Imagineers, and you could really get inside their head with what went on behind the scenes and into the design process. And I'm like, oh, it'd be a lifelong goal of mine to be an Imagineer and to like work on stuff like
Yes.
that. So
Yeah. For sure.
that would be my favorite collectible, I think.
Yeah. I the Galaxy's Edge one specifically, but all of those like concept art books I
Yeah,
j- I just got a collection of them off of Facebook Marketplace like
good
a couple of weeks
find.
ago, and haven't like had time to fully dive into them yet.
Oh
So
yeah,
I really want to do that. Those art of books that they make
dude.
are so well done.
Dude, you could do a lot of content with that though yourself. You could like dive
Yeah,
into it more and you could like kind of break down some of the things that you're seeing there and like
yeah,
it's a endless opportunities right there. You should totally run it.
yeah. It's I'm looking at all of them on the shelf right now, and I'm like, I want to just consume all of it so bad. And I also really want to watch Light and Magic. I have
Yeah,
not gotten
that's
around to
it's a
watching that yet.
recommendation, I will
Um,
say.
but yeah, I mean those behind the scenes documentaries like that always came as like the bonus features on the DVD, and I loved those.
That's why I've started collecting DVDs of the
Yeah.
movies and stuff like that because I'm like it's
Yeah.
such an iconic thing to go behind the scenes and get those little extras and
Yes.
obviously if I'm at my family's cabin, we don't have service, so I can't like pull
Yeah.
up Disney Plus. I can just pop a DVD
Yeah.
in, you know.
Yeah. Physical media. Keep it alive, please, and
Yay.
thank you.
Yes, please.
But I want to know what does the future hold for you? What's the future for the content? What's the future for the channel? What's coming up in the immediate future, and then maybe a little further out. What do you hope to
Well,
keep doing?
that's such a good question. I don't know what the future holds. I didn't even know I was gonna get this point. Um, so
Me
I'm just
too.
taking it easy, and the biggest thing for me is as long as I'm having fun, I'll keep doing it. Um, yes, it's convenient that some opportunities and income can be brought from it, but the second I'm not having fun, it's not worth it. The second it starts to take away from my son, who's growing, he's like 18 months now. I don't want to lose
Yeah.
his. I've been privileged to spend a lot of time with him, even
Yeah.
though I balance a full-time job and content creation and all these things. It's a lot to juggle. I don't know how I do it, but I can still spend time with my family. So
Yeah.
things like that. So it's definitely slowed down now that Star Wars month and everything is over. Um, Now I get to sit down and focus on, okay, what do I have fun with? So I'll be doing a lot more like streaming with gaming, kind of video breakdowns and reactions to that. Um, like lore drops. I love doing like little games on there. I posted today like guess this character with 5 keywords. So like
Yeah.
I like
I guessed
interactive
it in
stuff like
two.
that.
I guessed it in two, by the way.
Pilot and green. Where you going?
Yep.
Hera.
I was good.
That's good on you, man. That's awesome. So I think things like that,
Uh,
just fun
yeah.
stuff. It'd be great to be able to do collaborations with some of the other Utah nerds that are here and
Yeah.
just have fun and just enjoy nerdiness.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to Celebration? I'm curious.
Yeah, so I will be going. My dad got tickets for us because I was on a flight back from the whole Mando Grogu Smugglers Run
Yeah.
surprise stuff when that was going on. Was that actually no? It was after May 4th stuff. I was still in LA
Yeah.
for that, but I was flying home when the tickets were on sale, and my dad snagged them for my wife, him, and I. So because I've never been to a Star Wars celebration in ever,
Yeah. Me
um,
neither.
and that it's here in the States, and just like for me, it's just like a couple states over. Like,
Yeah.
why I gotta do it.
It'll be my first one too. I'm really looking forward to it.
We gotta hang out, man. We gotta meet up there.
Yeah, for sure. But before I let you go, what let everybody know where they can find you and everything that you're doing.
You can find me wherever Star Wars is being talked about. Wherever
There you
Star
go.
Wars and I are in the same sentence. Just kidding. I am everywhere. I'm the most active on Instagram. That is like my addiction. I love it there. I love just interacting and stuff like there. So you'll find me on there. You'll find me on X. You'll find me on TikTok, on YouTube. Everything is just Nerdy Brent. So it's funny. It's actually funny. On TikTok, it's kind of just more yapping, just nonsense for
Yeah.
me. It's kind of like my spam, I guess, in a way.
Uh-huh.
And then Instagram is more of my like just more based content, just like more curated stuff. Twitter is where I go to dump every thought I've ever had about Star Wars in my entire life.
Yeah.
And then YouTube is mostly where my gaming reactions and gaming streams go. So it's like depending on what you want, you can find it in these different areas.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at too. It's
Yeah.
just different platforms for different things, but
You almost have to do that because there are so many of them. You
yeah.
kind of have to like figure out how you're going to go about it.
Because if you're just posting the same thing on everything, it just gets boring.
Exactly. And I do respect it. And that's if it's important still, because
Yeah.
you still have separate audiences in a way. But
Yeah.
you get it.
Yeah.
You get it. Yeah.
But everybody go follow Brent at Nerdy Brent. You can follow me at Limitless_nerd,
Do it.
Instagram,
Get him.
TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it now, YouTube, Spotify, wherever. It's there.
Oh,
It's out there
bro
somewhere.
got Spotify. Ooh, nice.
But Brent, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out, dude. This was so much fun. It's great to, I guess, meet you officially,
Yeah.
not
In a way,
officially, and like
face
actually have
like
a.
see your face.
But I appreciate you so much for coming on and hanging out and talking about Star Wars.
Always a pleasure, man. You're awesome. I've had a lot of fun. It's awesome to have a light like yours in this fandom. It's needed. You're doing good things, and I'm grateful to be friends with you. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I you just got to be positive.
Yeah, why
You
not?
just got to have you just got to have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But we got new episodes still coming out every other week at bare minimum until Rebel ScumCon in August. After that, we'll see what the schedule looks like. But we had a full month in May. We're a little lighter in June, and then we may have a full month here in July, which is when you're going to be watching this video. So hopefully, I'm not lying about the schedule, talking about it a month and a half in advance, but we'll see.
Bro is grinding
But
over here, working hard for you guys.
but thank you again so much for being here and hanging out. And until next time, may the
Until
force
next
be
time.
with you.
Bye bye.